Most people believe their choices are their own, but the world is full of invisible puppet masters, people who have mastered the art of pulling the strings of others without ever being seen. Emotional manipulation and social engineering are designed to be undetectable. They often enter your life not as a grand gesture, but as a subtle spike in anxiety, an unexplainable need to defend your actions, or the quiet, heavy feeling of walking on eggshells around someone you supposedly trust. Our brains are actually programmed to follow the lead of the group. If you step into an elevator where everyone is facing the back wall, you will likely turn around too. It's called social proof, a biological shortcut that prioritizes conformity over logic. This automatic compliance is exactly what an engineer looks for. If you cannot identify the specific tactics being used to bypass your conscious mind, you are already being controlled. Manipulators bypass the logical parts of the brain by targeting the subconscious, where our reflexive behaviors live. To reclaim your agency, you have to learn to recognize the hidden psychology of influence while it is happening. While the mind can be tricked into silence, the body is constantly leaking the truth through physical responses that occur long before a person even thinks to speak. In 1932, Frederick C. Bartlett demonstrated that human memory is a reconstructive process, not a recording. We constantly modify our past experiences to fit our current culture, beliefs, and expectations. Social engineers use this malleability to plant a new detail into your memory using leading questions. They force the brain to fill in gaps with information that didn't exist until they suggested it. If an investigator asks if you saw a teddy bear, you can easily say no. But asking if you saw the teddy bear implies that the object was already part of the environment. Your brain, wanting to maintain a consistent schema of the room, often creates the memory of the bear to satisfy the question. This is the power of framing. Our minds hate chaos and clutter, so we reflexively seek order and familiar patterns to make sense of the information we receive. You can see this process in real time with this illusion. Your mind toggles between seeing two faces in black or a single vase in the white space. One becomes the foreground and the other becomes the background. Whoever defines the frame of a conversation dictates what you perceive as the most important information. They control your reality by deciding which facts you focus on. Humans process their surroundings through a dominant mode of thinking, usually visual, auditory, or kinesthetic. A kinesthetic thinker, for example, has a physical compulsion to touch. They might see a soft sweater and immediately reach out to feel the texture, needing that tactile connection to make it real and memorable in their mind. These physical habits are grounded in biology. Emotions are universal and biological. They trigger muscular reactions that are nearly impossible to suppress entirely. In 1872, Charles Darwin detailed the universal nature of these expressions, proving that the same facial muscles respond to identical emotions across every culture. These involuntary spasms are called microexpressions. They leak out for only 1/25th of a second. If someone is hiding fear or disgust, those muscles will fire before the person has the conscious chance to mask them. We also see macro tells in the limbs. When a person feels threatened, their elbows naturally pull inward toward the ribcage. It is an ancient survival reflex designed to shield internal organs from a perceived attack. Words are easy to fabricate, but the body's autonomous reactions provide an honest record of a person's state of mind. To gather information without being detected, social engineers use neuro-linguistic hacking to pull secrets from a target's subconscious. This involves using embedded commands and a psychological loophole known as negation to bypass the target's natural defenses. If I tell you, do not imagine a red cow, your brain must first render the image of the cow in order to understand what it is supposed to ignore. The unconscious mind processes the command directly before the conscious mind can apply the negation. By combining these commands with a conversational give and take, an operator leads a target through an interaction. The target provides the desired information while believing that the disclosure was entirely their own idea. A successful extraction occurs when the target feels they were dominating the conversation, unaware that they were actually following a set of planted instructions. Once you understand these mechanics, human interaction becomes transparent. You no longer see just words and gestures. you see a sequence of predictable patterns. Everyone is constantly broadcasting their true intentions. Dominance, fear, and deceit are expressed through a continuous symphony of micro-movements that anyone can learn to read. This decoding is most critical in your personal life. When someone uses these tactics, shifting their affection from hot to cold, or creating a constant state of uncertainty, they are attempting to create an emotional buffer overflow in your mind, making you easier to command. You now know how to spot the linguistic traps and physical leaks that signify a person is trying to reshape your reality for their benefit. Use this knowledge to untangle yourself from those who would pull your strings. By observing the patterns, you become the one who decodes the interaction. Don't let them read you. Read them first.